Hi everyone, Dr. Karen here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest for the week of May 22nd, 2017. Happy belated Victoria Day to all the Canadians out there. Yay! And happy early Memorial Day to all the Americans out there. Yay! So I'm using a brand new computer and not sure I figured out the whole webcam audio thing, so please forgive me if this is a little choppy. I'm still getting used to the new computer. So this week some interesting things have come up. One of the interesting things was that there was one day where I was not muscle testing to my name. Normally we would say I was reverse polarity, but yet I was getting correct for yes and no. So my muscle testing would be strong for yes, weak for no. And I realized that although I did not test strong or locked for I am Karen Can, I did test strong for I am consciousness, which I thought was fascinating. So this was part of one of the cycles or steps to, the ascension. So with, if you recall, if you've been listening to some of my other spiritual medicine digests, there was a period of time where we were all experiencing we are all one phenomenon, where alternate selves were connecting and converging with us. And if you weren't converging dimensionally and you were converging in other ways, like physically, it could be physically harmful to your body. So that, for a lot of people, especially my students and light warriors, has already completed. That convergence has completed. We went through this stage of 4 days, like 2 weeks ago, 4 days of I am everything. So you would muscle test strong to I am everything or I am the multiverse. And then after 4 days, that would end. That was very uncomfortable for some of us super sensitives to actually feel stuff from everyone and everything. Some people thought they were going nuts or crazy, depressed, pain all over, that kind of thing. So we quickened that up and we actually made that happen faster so we could get past that stage. The I am everything stage was this past week, and mine was, I think, less than 24 hours. So I'm guessing that a lot of people, it's going to be pretty short. You might not even notice it. Now, one of the questions that have come up is like, why do we get recurring symptoms? Why can't we just do a healing and get rid of everything that is causing this issue? Or people have said, I've been working on this stuff for years and it still keeps coming back. Well, there's a lot of reasons for it, but I don't think you should be judging that you should be better by now. And I know sometimes after years and years of working, especially those of us that are healing type 3s and 4s, we spent a long time working on ourselves and we kind of get tired and frustrated because, oh my gosh, shouldn't I be better already? But you have to realize, as a healing type 3 or 4, is that you have a responsibility well beyond your personal healing. So when you're getting a symptom, it first of all may not be your stuff. It might belong to your alternate timeline. It might belong to who your alternate timeline is proxying for, or who your alternate timeline is sensing. If your alternate timeline is transmuting energies for mass consciousness, guess what? They get to feel that stuff, and you do too. So you can turn down the volume of the sensitivity dial for your alternate selves, or even feeling your alternate selves issues if source says that you're allowed to. So you can do that with Topican healing or some other method where you can turn down that sensitivity. We just often ask, what is it out of 10? If you get over a 1, ask source, can I turn this down to a 0 or 1? If you can, then you go ahead and turn it down. You may have to do that for multiple different lives. So again, sometimes it's not yours. You can check in to see, for each of the symptoms that recur, is it spiritual? Like, what percentage is emotional? What percentage is spiritual, mental, energetic, etc., etc. For me, like, I have some recurring pain on my left shoulder. It's very mild compared to what other people complain about. I mean, it's not anything like it was like when I had fibromyalgia, where I felt like I was hit by a truck, back then. Thankfully, I don't have that pain anymore. And I have some niggly issues with my left knee that occurred suddenly. And without warning, and like, okay, now what is it? So I got to tell you, I got to be honest. Do I actually work on that stuff every day? No, because I'm busy and I do other things, but I do work on like my boundaries and, every day. And right now I'm in the middle of my 21-day Addictions Be Gone challenge with the other folks doing it. So I've been working on that. But when I asked today, like, what's going on with my knee, what's going on with my shoulder, I got that 98% of it was spiritual. A big chunk of that spirituality issue had to do with messages from source, something it was like wanted to let me know what was going on in the rest of the multiverse. And then another big 2/3 of it was about basically learning to ask the right questions. Like, Sometimes we get a symptom that Source allows so that I would ask a certain question. Like, for example, when my right knee swelled up last year, it took me 8 months to figure out the question to ask, but the question was pretty unique. And what it was, I figured out finally, was that the alternate timelines of mine had autoimmunity. In fact, there were like 9 or 7 personalities with autoimmunity. As I began healing them, very simply with Tolpacan healing, just saying, is now commanded that all my timelines be healed of their autoimmunity and all issues causing it. And it took, probably a week of doing that, probably 5 to 6 days of doing that every day. And every day, when I count how many timelines still had autoimmunity, the number kept going down. And since then, I check it periodically and the number is 0. But I gotta tell you, after 8 months of struggling with this knee pain that would come and go and swelling and difficulty skating, within a week it was almost all gone, like a miracle. But that's because Source needed me to understand how our alternate timelines can affect us so I could communicate it to you guys. So that's my role. I understand it. So don't be so hard on yourself when things don't get better quickly. It may be because you're a type 3 or 4 healing type and you really have to know something. You may be innovating something or discovering something for the rest of us to benefit from. And the symptom is there, so you will keep going. And the other thing for those of you that are not, but has not been working a lot on yourselves, is that sometimes if you have a very big responsibility and you've let life distract you and you've been totally not into your soul's mission at all, you've just been surviving, okay, because of physical issues, mental issues, whatever it is, sometimes you're not, if a miracle healing overnight is going to stop you from doing your soul's mission, Source is not going to allow it. So you have to do your part. We're partnerships, partners with Source, partners co-creating our realities. So there are certain things that you need to do for your part of the deal. Okay. So it's one thing to say, well, I want to feel better. I've tried, going to this chiropractor, that doctor, took these supplements, did everything this doctor said, and I'm still not better. But maybe you haven't addressed your mother issues. Maybe you still have resentment or anger towards, your first grade teacher who punished you and, embarrassed you in front of class, or maybe when you think of your ex-boss, you still hate him, so there may be a lot of emotional baggage you have not addressed. Maybe you pushed it aside. Do you have healthy relationships in all your lives? Can you honestly say that every single relationship you have, you are at peace with? That is a great place to be, I gotta tell you. I can't say all my relationships are perfect, but I am so much at peace compared to where I was before when I was trying to change everyone. Yeah, just ask my family. That was not fun. So for me, the emotional piece is tiny, if like minuscule, the issues causing or contributing to my symptoms, but for you might be a bigger piece. Then look at your lifestyle. If you're in the middle of a big move, you just finished college, or you're changing homes or careers, you've just gone through a divorce, separation, a death, hey, that's a lot of stuff. Your chi, your energy levels are probably on the low side. If your energy levels are low, it's really hard for your physical body to actually function and to repair itself. There's so many different layers that are required for your physical body to function. And with the work that I do, it works really, really quickly. But when I see you for the first time, I might find, 10 or 20 different imbalances, but you're only going to heal so far because you need to process that. Okay. If we actually did everything, you would probably be so depleted in energy because it takes energy to heal. And also it's based on what you're willing to allow and what your willingness is to process, the healing. So if you're not really willing, to drink your 60 ounces of water a day, or you're not willing to, play the MP3s or charge your water because you don't have time, you know what? That is part of your personal responsibility. So think about it. What is it that you are not willing to do to really fight? Some people have to fight, for their empowerment and well-being. It's not just about you going, oh God, just heal me. It's like people that want a bag of money to land on their head. Well, that could happen. It could happen, but probably wouldn't be satisfying. because you wouldn't be giving to the world your unique spiritual gifts, the unique gifts of you, and earning that money, those millions of dollars, and knowing that you're helping so many people, you know. So that's just my little pep talk for you. If you're getting recurrent symptoms, stick with it. Just keep going. Keep asking questions. Don't give up, because sometimes it's surprising what you find on the other end once you get there. So a couple tips, things that if you had not listened to the radio show with Kathy Homeyer and myself last Monday, you'll definitely want to check the replay. She actually did a great group activation where she activated all of our multidimensional integration systems. So check that out, get the group activation, also some mini healings as well. And we got like a whole page of frequencies. I'll show you what I got here. You know, we got frequencies of walnut, which helps with lymphatics, planetary master protection frequency for trees and plants, for increased grounding. How awesome is that? It's the highest love possible. So these are the frequency numbers. Maybe you can't see it very well here on the there, but you'll get these numbers during the session, during the radio show. So check that out. We'll post that on below our YouTube video. And Kathy's very awesomely priced nutritional energetics program is still at the introductory price. Her live classes are going on soon, so you definitely want to register now if you have not and you're interested in nutrition and getting the energetics of your nutrition instead of having to eat all that food necessarily. So also this Friday the 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern, a very special invitation to you. UnitedIntentions.org is actually interviewing moi on the Ascended Physician. So we're going to talk about the new physician, or the new modern physician, what that physician might be doing and looking like. And so check that out if you're interested. You're more than welcome to listen in on the show. And then next Monday on my radio show at 3 p.m., I'm going to be interviewing Mike Marshausen. I'll have to ask him how to pronounce that. Mike from Spirituality for Men. So check his website, spiritualityformen.com. He got a great light score when I tested him. So I said yes right away. And we're going to do some wonderful work about healing with the heart. So that sounds really good for me. Hope it sounds good to you. And it's not just for men. So even if you're a woman and you have men in your lives, I would definitely listen to that show next Monday. So I'm really, really excited about that. Okay. And if you're not sure how to get a hold of, what the links are for the radio show that I do, just make sure you're on my mailing list at KarenCan.com. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then you will get alerts by email with the exact URL that you can click on to listen to the radio shows. And also they're all archived. So if you miss it, that's okay. You can just listen to the replay as well. And you get lots of free gifts when you get on my website as well and sign up. So I'm really excited to do all that with you in the next few days. And have a wonderful rest of the week. I love you all. Bye for now.